Good morning, everybody. Joe Chaccio here. Happy Thursday, an early happy Memorial Day weekend. We're going to have no call tomorrow, Friday. We're going to have no call on Monday for Memorial Day. So just to let you guys know so you can kind of either get out and hustle. Spoke to an agent last night, and he asked me what my thoughts were on working on Memorial Day. I said, well, it depends if you have nothing planned with your family, if your family's out of town, or what you got going on. So he said, Joe, what about if I was to go hit some houses and see what happens? I'd recommend every one of you to consider it if you got nothing planned, and I know it's a family day, but yet you're going to be able to catch people at home who may not want to speak with you that day, yet you can possibly make an appointment with them because you had a hard time getting a hold of them during the week to actually visit with them. So think about that there. Okay, let's talk about leads. Everybody calls me and says, Joe, the leads are good. I know they're brand new, but the people say this and the people say that there. And what ends up happening is that we destroy ourselves. We are the self-destructors to ourselves because what we're doing is that we're overthinking the process. What goes on between your ears controls this everything. Your mind controls your destiny. Your thoughts are where you're going to be. So if you think positive, hopefully positive thoughts happen. When you think negative, negative thoughts will happen. So let's think about this here. Let's say a lead costs, let's just say $30 for just a number. Lead costs $30, and what you're looking at when you're knocking on that door, oh, howdy, this lead cost me $30. If I don't make a sale, God almighty, I didn't make 2 other sales. I'm already out $90. I only got 10 more leads to go. I want you to change that thought process when you go into a door. We're not going to look at what the cost of the lead is. We're going to look at the opportunity you have on what you can make. Let's sit and say your average commission is $500. Doesn't matter what your actual personal commission level is. Let's say you're going to make $500 on every sale. If you say you want to make $600 on every sale, depending on what your sales ability and your closes are, do whatever number you feel positive with. When you go to the door, you're not going to look at that lead as a cost of doing business. You're going to look at that lead as an opportunity to generating revenue for your business. Now, we all know it costs money to buy leads. We all know there's a cost involved, and cost incurred equals hopefully revenue generated. So what I want you to think about is that when you go to a door, there's an opportunity for you to make money, regardless if it is a direct mail, Facebook, a phone lead, a walking list, an old lead, a referral, or on a door knock next door to the house where you have a lead. Yesterday I spoke to an agent. He said, Joe, I've got some older leads from a company I used to work. You told me to go work them, but yet I couldn't get a whole lot of them, and they're telling me, oh, I sent that lead in a long time ago. Oh, no. I changed my mind. This controls your destiny. This is what makes you go forward or prevents you from doing what you're supposed to do. It is people's instinct to say, I've already bought something, I changed my mind, today's not a good day, oh, I sent that in a long time ago, because the mere fact is you've got to sit and think about it. If you're knocking at somebody's door, they don't even know who in the hell you are. They got no idea who you are. So automatically the block wall comes up, the defense mechanisms come out. So this is why when we speak about when you go to a door, you got to stand back a little further to give them some breathing room and speak softly. Interject some voice inflection where you emphasize certain words. Make your voice a pleasant voice, not a real tough guy voice. I'm here to sell something to you. What you need to do, you need to go in there no matter what the lead is. I don't care if the lead's 77 years old. Your response is, hello, Ms. Jones. My name is Joe. I just got this lead in yesterday, or this actual return postcard came in yesterday from you. They're going to tell you, I sent it in a long time ago. They're going to tell you I already bought something. Understand this. We are not the only people who sell final expense. There's other carriers. There's other IMOs. There's a lot of other people who are working in your backyard that you don't even know about, and the people that you're knocking on have probably, most likely, most definitely sent in a card from somebody else. Now, do they remember the card they sent in to you? No. They have no idea what card they sent in to you. Oh, this says I'm supposed to get a $25 gift certificate on this card. It says I'm supposed to get a Walmart card on this thing here. It says I'm supposed to get a free toaster oven on this here. They do not remember the card they send in because the people we deal with are what we call our responders. They're responding to something that they got in the mail. There was either something on there that caught their attention, or they just like filling their name out and sending something in because in their mind, by doing this here, they think the more times they do it, better opportunity of getting something for free. Now, the leads we have say return this card for a no-cost information. Return this card within 5 days for no-cost information. Yet, it does say this benefit is tax-free in the state of whatever your state is. So it does have the word free in there. Now, if that word free bothers you in there and you feel they're going to read that and see free, what you ought to do is get a little Sharpie and block off the word tax-free. You can solve the problem right then and there. So when you hand them the card, you're going to highlight the important things. You may qualify for a state-regulated program, You may qualify up to $35,000. It does not matter how your health is, final expense, life insurance, whatever words on your particular lead that you're using, highlight those words there to take their eyes to it and also to take their eyes off what you don't want them to see. They're not going to sit and tell you, you know, Diane, let me ask you a question. Why did you highlight this here and why did you blot that off? They're not going to ask you that there, okay? If you're working an older lead, let's say you're working a lead from 2017. 2017, Joe, that's a lead that's 2 years old. Ain't nobody going to buy that lead there. Why are you having me waste my time to work a lead that is 2 years old? Well, here's a reason. The person may have bought something from somebody else before, canceled it. They may have had an NSF. They may have lost it. They may not have needed it back then. Somebody passed away 2 months, 3 months, last week that they need something. What we do is all about timing. Now, on a lead that's from 2017, and the lead says 2017 updates for Social Security or Medicare updates, whatever the lead says, take a little Sharpie, block off 2017. If they put their age in there, block off their age. If they say age 65, get a little Sharpie, do it kind of neat, blot it off, and clean it up. The old leads here send this card in for free information, blot off the word free. So when you go into a house, you've got yellow where you want their eyes to go, and black they have no idea. I've never had anybody ever ask me, Joe, why is it highlighted? Or, Joe, why is this blotted off? I've never had nobody ask me that. Yet what happens when you go to the door, your mind is saying, lead's 2 years old, they're probably not going to buy. I don't know why I'm wasting my time. I should be running fresh leads. Guys, it's about visiting people. It's about taking action for an opportunity to where you may catch somebody who needs something. Had an agent call me last week and said, Joe, I got some leads, and you know the leads I got, they look pretty good, Joe. The age group looks good, and he said, I'm happy with this here. So I told the agent, I'm happy for you. Now, let's take a step back. You're looking at a lead. How can you decipher whether it is a good lead, not a good lead, a bad lead, somebody has money, somebody has insurance? You don't know. So what you're doing is that you're actually pre-qualifying that person in your mind that it's a good lead. Every lead I have had is a fantastic lead. It's a lead that I'm going to make $500 to $600 on, and that's how I program my mind, no matter what that lead costs me. Again, there's always a cost of doing business. Yet, if your mind is only focused on the cost, which in my mind is a negative thing, let's talk about a positive thing, that the opportunity of the money you're going to make on this one piece of paper. You said, think about it. If you walk up to a house and you're saying, I can make 500, I can make 600, I can make money on this card here, when you go to that door and they say, I bought before, I ain't got time to listen to that. I'm going to make $500. Oh, this is something I've already bought. I don't need it. I changed my mind. My daughter bought it for me. What you're going to do is that you're going to sit and look at it and say, oh, I just lost $30. You're going to sit and say, no way, Mr. Client. No way, Mrs. Client. My job is to get in your house because I am going to make money on this one piece of paper. You are standing in between me and my checking account. I'm going to do whatever I can to get into your house so I can give you a presentation to where you buy something from me. If you do that thought process, you'll get into more houses because you're going to have the eye of the tiger. You're going to have the mentality that you are a winner. And when you start seeing yourself make more sales by having this thought process, you're going to sit and say, Joe, I want to buy old leads. Joe, I want a walking list. Joe, I don't want to knock on the houses next door. Because not everybody has a need for this here. There's some people who got money, some people who can't afford it. But you sit and think, if there's 10% of the people who can't afford it and 10% of the people who don't need it because they have money, you've got anywhere between 60 to 80% of the people you're dealing with who need this here. And I guarantee you 75% of that percentage does not have coverage. How do I know that? I read a lot of periodicals. I read a lot of articles about people who do not have insurance. And when I go to houses and they sit and tell me, oh, I can't afford it. Oh, I just lost it. Oh, I don't need it. You need to ask yourself why. Was the agent that was there before not do a proper job? Did he not blend with them? Did he not go over the values? Did he not try to work something in and tailor-make it to where the premiums fit into his budget? Think about that there, guys. Every one of you guys on this call have the tools to knock on doors. We've done hundreds and hundreds of training calls, and if you guys were to remember 1% of every call we've done, I'm going to give you an A+. So when you go to the door, your mind's going to go to training call 2017. You're going to pull that file out. You're going to go to training call January 13th, 2018. Pull that training call out. And what you're going to do, you're going to start getting all these thoughts going through your mind. So when you're in front of somebody and you've got somebody there, you're not going to let them push you around. You're going to have a bulletproof vest on. Your feet are going to be in concrete, and you're not moving until they tell you, get the hell out of my house. You got to have that attitude, because if you don't, if you call me and tell me, Joe, I went to their house and they say they didn't need it, and I said, okay, and I left, I'm going to put my hand through the phone and slap you a little bit. For the mere fact is that that's a common rebuttal that everybody gives you. Think about it. You do the same thing. Talked about this 100 times. When you go to buy something, somebody's walk up and say, hey, can I help you? The first thing you're probably going to say is, well, no, thank you. We're just looking around. Or no, thank you. We're not going to buy nothing today. Or no, thank you. We're here to meet somebody. You automatically come up with a defense mechanism because you don't want to be bothered. So what makes us any different than the people's houses we're knocking on? So what we've got to do is that we've got one chance to make a first impression. We've got to make sure the tone of voice that we speak to them in, the voice inflection that we do, our mindset, and we've got the eye of the tiger, and we're thinking about a possibility of making $500. That's what's going to be your driving force. Now, if you're working a phone lead and a Facebook lead are more time sensitive. People really they've signed nothing. They may have said, my favorite color is blue, my favorite sport is football. They may remember, yet they don't always remember exactly. So if you're working a phone lead or Facebook lead, my suggestion hell with suggestions. I'm telling you, work them as fast as possible because the people do forget. That is a fact. Now, if you're working a direct mail lead, they're going to see their name written on there. They're going to see Frankie Jones, 67 years old. They're going to see their phone number. Then they're going to almost remember they sent it in, but you're already on second base. They're looking at their name, their handwriting, their age, their phone number, and you've so politely highlighted the reasons why they sent the card in. So you have an advantage on a direct mail lead that you could have worked from 2 years ago. It really doesn't matter. I went to a house a long time ago, worked in a neighborhood I really wasn't too familiar with, and I was going down the street, and I thought I turned on the person's street, and it wasn't their street. So I went to the door, the number of the house, and I said, hello, my name is Joe. You had recently sent a card in, and I hadn't even shown them the card, okay? They said, I don't remember sending a card in. And I said, well, you know, a lot of times people forget, and I really wouldn't imagine you remembering everything you put in the mail, but this is a card you sent in. They look at it and they go, oh, that's the next block over. That's not me. I said, man, I am so sorry. I said, yet this card is probably mailed to you as well. You may have sent it in or it may still be sitting on your dining room table. Since I'm here, do you have a couple seconds for me just to sit and visit? So if you do send it in, I don't have to come back and visit with you again. Come on in. I made a sale, okay? And that's no BS. I made a sale. So when I look at these things here, by mistake, I went to the wrong house and I made a sale. I'm telling you, when you go knock on the door, you have the same opportunity. But what happens, this lead becomes like, it becomes oh my God, I've got to have that lead to go to the door. If I don't have that lead to go to the door, I'm not going to know what to do. Walking list. Walking list, you can buy from us. You call me today, I'll send you 100 free names for a walking list. Give Heather the zip codes. I will give you 100 names for free. Name, address, city, state, their approximate age. For free. You call me today, I'll do it for you. And what you're going to do, you're going to work these names here, and you're going to say, hello, my name is Joe. And you're going to have a piece of paper that shows you 2 different leads, okay? I'll have Heather and Jay mail you a script, the laminated page, which is 2 leads put together with everything highlighted for you, and say, hello, my name is Joe. I'm the new area manager. My boss told me to come out because you had requested some information. You're on my list, and we had not contacted you yet. What are you talking about? Oh, hand them the lead. There's 2 and 1 on each side. You're going to get 50% say, I've got no idea what you're talking about. You're going to get 50%. They're going to say, oh, yeah, I remember something about that there. It could be 60-40. It could be 70-30. It does not matter. What you're doing is that you're getting in front of people, which is going to give you an opportunity to make money. Now, for the people that sit and think about, oh, it costs me a lot of money for a lead, this is costing you nothing. It's costing you zero, zip, nada, nende. What you're going to do is you're going to sit and look at it and say, I'm going to do a little sweating today. It's a little bit hot. Let me maybe wear a short sleeve shirt instead of a long sleeve shirt. Let me kind of work this a little bit differently to adjust to something different. You can have some people who tell you, move on. You can have some people say, I kind of remember. And when they say, I kind of remember, now you're going to slow down a little bit. You're going to take your time. You're going to sit and say, give me up. This guy wants to talk to me. Now, every person, the age list we do, it's from 50 to 80. Other companies out there do direct mail 40 to 85. 40 to 85, we're using the parameters in between. So there's a 75% chance, and that's just a number I pulled out of the air, a 75% chance that person has already received something from another person, another company, another insurance carrier that is doing the same thing we're doing. And they're not going to remember the exact verbiage of what it was. You can show them, ma'am, I got your name on my list here, Sally Jones, 1307 Coral Street. said you sent a card back in. You probably don't remember a lot of things that go on with our everyday life. We're kind of busy all the time. Yet, since I'm here, if you got a couple seconds, I've got a little brochure that I was asked to bring you. Get brochures from your carriers. Order brochures from the carriers. Go to the back office. Jay has got a more extensive list on what you can order and the things we recommend to order, and order something different if you want. Put your name on it. Put your company card on it. That's your calling card. Have your picture on your company card. If you need more, put your picture on there. Work a phone list, work a walking list exactly like the person sent in a lead, because there's a 75%, if not higher chance, that they have sent a card in. They may not have been home. They may not have needed it. They may not have wanted it. Some life-changing event could make them say, oh, let me hear a little bit more about it. Now, they're going to tell you, I don't remember. It's not me. I changed my mind. I've already bought something. So based on the 4 topics I just talked about, we've talked about all that before. Have a rebuttal statement for all of those there. My favorite one is, I wouldn't have expected you to have answered any differently. You don't want to be combative. You don't want to be argumentative with the person. Boy, howdy. I wouldn't expect you to answer any differently, yet, most people don't remember sending this card in. You probably sent it in, I don't know, a couple, 3 days ago, a week ago. I don't know when you sent it in. You say you sent it in a long time ago. You probably did, yet it was from a different company. We get ours a whole lot quicker if it's a direct mail lead. If it is a walking list, if it's a phone lead you haven't been able to get hold of, if it's a Facebook lead you haven't had time to get a hold of. So yes, you sent it in a while back, yet this is something that we always follow up on because we're either unable to get a hold of you. Sometimes the vendor that we use will send you a reminder. They will text you a reminder telling you that a sales agent will be coming around to visit with you. Does that kind of ring a bell? No? Okay. Well, since I'm here, if you can just give me 2 minutes of your time, I've got this little brochure I like to leave with you. I like to go over it with you, because a lot of times people don't realize how easy and simple and how inexpensive it is to give them peace of mind that when that upsetting day comes, their spouse or their children are not left responsible with that huge bill and that huge burden. Doesn't take that long. Just give me 2 minutes. Start wiping your feet. Even if it's not even a doormat under you, start wiping. And it's nationally known that when you start wiping your feet, people do this here because they assume you're walking in their house. So think about this here. When you go to a house, you're going to look at the lead in your hand as an opportunity to make $500 or $600. You're not going to think about the cost of what it is. You're going to think about the sale that you made last. You're not going to think about the 2 door knocks where they told you to get the hell out. You're not going to think about the presentation you made and they told you no. You're not going to think about the presentation you had and they said they couldn't afford it. You're going to sit and think $500, $600. You're going to think about the sale you made yesterday or a couple of days ago. You're going to look and smell the roses and say, today is the day I'm changing my thought process on how I'm knocking on doors. Because if you don't change what you're doing today, tomorrow's not going to be no better. So with that said, guys, I appreciate your hard work. You got any calls? Call me. Call me today. Ask for Heather. Ask for Jay. I'll send you 100 free names on a walking list, plus the actual laminated things on both sides, what to say when you go to the door at no charge. And remember, this controls everything. No call tomorrow. Happy Memorial Day. No call on Monday. Appreciate your hard work. Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend and be safe. Bye-bye.